Good morning, October 14th, 2019. The remnants of ex-Hagibis still lingering, just. Tropical depression Ima is, or at least what we think is a tropical depression, about to impact some of the northernmost Hawaiian islands. Not doing much else though. Tropical storm watches are in effect. Invest 96L, 20% chance of development in the next 5 days. Looking very unlikely for that storm now. And 99E with a 60% chance of development. We have a invest there with a 70% chance of development. It's Tropical Storm Melissa, just tropical at the moment. And we have a low of 10% chance of development. It's not tagged as an invest, but it is still a point of interest that we will cover tonight. No storms active in the southern hemisphere at this time. It's all quiet here. So invest 99E then, 70% chance of development. We think a moderate tropical storm probably, around 50 miles an hour. And the pressure maybe in the high 990s, low 1000s in millibars, but we can't really predict that. We'll just slam into Mexico really. Nothing much else said apart from there might be tropical storm watches and warnings coming into effect eventually, depending on what the National Hurricane Center does. 96E, however, we think will be maximum 40 miles an hour, subtropical, possibly, but we don't think it really is going to be a strong storm after passing the Baja California region. Tropical Storm Melissa, just tropical storm status at the moment, only just, mainly because of what it looks like on satellite. Only has about 24 hours left before it turns post-tropical, extratropical, and some models have it dying well before Europe. The invest then is likely to become a tropical storm in the next 24 to 48 hours, we think. Around 50 to 60 miles an hour, we think. Not any stronger, however. And this is the low that with 10% chance of development, we think it will turn and invest and become a very weak tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico, around 40 miles an hour peak, in that same area where Imelda affected. So some of those areas might still be under careful eyes. This is Tropical Storm Ima, also called Tropical Storm Ima, because it looks horrendous on a satellite. This is what the models are saying right now. A couple of them have it looping back, but most of them have it just moving across. The AVII taking it quite very far back south as well after it does a little loop back. So some of the models doing that, but most of the models just having it moving, especially the HWFI and the CEMI. And the UKXI as well. Visit satellite on Tropical Storm Melissa, only just a tropical storm, however, just because it is really small on the satellite. And this is Hagibis as well. Hagibis only just detectable now. As I get. In terms of names for the Atlantic, we're looking out for Nestor. In the Eastern Pacific, we're looking out for Octave, could form very soon. In the Central Pacific, we're looking out for Hone. In the Western Pacific, we're looking out for Nirgiri for the next name. And in the North Indian Ocean, we're looking out for Kiar. In the Southwestern Indian Ocean, Ambali is the next name on the list. And for the Australian region, we're looking out for Blake. And finally, in the South Pacific and Fiji region, we're looking out for Rita.